My name is Raouf Bishay. I'm a member of Bloomington Photography Club. And today's tech tip is going to be about how to take a photograph, and we're going to fold it, we're going to turn it, twist it, and mirror it, uh, and to make it look like if you're looking through a kaleidoscope to that photograph. Or basically, you're going to create an art piece out of photograph that will show nothing like the original photograph. For that particular purpose, I choose that photograph, which I just happened to take it when I was testing my equipment for light painting. And I just basically opened my front door and I took a picture of the night sky and painted some tree. So the very first thing we need to do is crop this photo to whatever lines we think that we want. So I'm gonna go to the crop tool, and I would think that the right side of the photo with the little green and the little bit of overexposed tree looks pretty good. And what I want to do in here also, I want to reduce the skyline a little bit. So this is what I think that I want. I want it for working. So I'm just going to double click in here, and now I have it. So the very first thing I need to let you all know that this is Photoshop. In Photoshop, there's 101 way to accomplish the same exact task. So I am going to show you the way that I'm comfortable with. That does not mean it is the only way to accomplish task. As I said, if you have a better way to do it or a way that you are more comfortable with, then that's what you use. So the very first thing I need to do is create a copy of a background. And since we say that there is a number of ways to do this, you can do Control J for Window or Command J for Mac in order to accomplish this task. But since I use the mouse most of the time when I'm doing this, I'm just going to basically drag the copy to the plus folder, and that will automatically create a copy of the background and name it to me as background copy. All right. So the very first thing now I need to do is double the width of this photo. To do this, I need to go to Image, and I want to go to Canvas Size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the canvas size. But before I do this, since we are here, if you have relative checked, and you can choose pixel or inches or anything else you want. Let's say I want to put a border around the whole image. A lot of people ask what is the easiest way to do a border? Well, this is the easiest way in here. I can do inches. I can say 2 inches, let's say, in width, and I want to add 2 inches in height all around the picture. So I'm going to leave this as is and make sure that the relative is selected, and I'm going to say okay. Just as simple as this, I have created a white border around that image. Now, this is not what we want for this particular demonstration. So I'm gonna take this back. And to take this back or to delete the last step, for Window again, you do Command Control Z, and for Mac, you do Command Z. So Command Z just take me back in again. So again, I'm gonna go back to my image and I'm gonna do my canvas size. Now I want to make sure relative is off for my purpose. I want to choose percent. And what I want to do in here, I want to double the width. So I want 200% for the width, and I'm going to keep my height at 100%. Relative is off. Well, this arrow can here tell me where do I want the axis in. Well, I want it to be on the right side of the photo. Now, the canvas extension color in here is default in white, which in my demo in here does not really make any difference. So I'm going to leave it at white, but you can make it any color you want by clicking there and just choosing color. So I'm going to say okay. And now as you see, I just stretch it my canvas size. Now I'm going to make sure that my select tool is, that I have my select tool highlighted. And I'm basically going to do shift and drag my image to where I want it. The reason I did shift, So when I work with image, it goes only in one direction, not two direction. Then I'm gonna let go with the mouse, and then I'm gonna let go with my shift key. So I created a duplicate of this image in the part of the canvas that I created. To mirror this image, I need to flip it, and that's an easy part because I'm gonna go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, and voila, that's how you mirror an image. Now, in all reality, if you are doing this with photos or whatever, you can make it in or out or whatever else you want. But this is just as easy as this to create an image. All right, let's merge all the layers together to make it just one layer. And to do this, you're just simply going to go to Layer and Merge Down. And as you can see in here, it merged everything down, and you end up with just one photo or one layer and it's called background. All right, so again, we want to reduplicate this background. So I'm gonna click in it, left click, and drag to my plus sign. All right. Now, the next thing I need to do in here is I need to take this picture and I wanna double the height. So we're gonna do like what I did before. I'm gonna go to Image, and I'm gonna go to Canvas Size, and I'm gonna change the pixel to percent. I'm gonna make sure that relative is off, and I'm gonna double the height by doing it at 200%. I want it to be, I want my free space to be below the photo. So you see where the arrow is, this is where it's gonna be. I'm gonna keep it as white. I'm gonna say okay. So I can double the canvas, but you can see that the photo went up a little bit. So you're not seeing it in window, but you wanna see the whole photo or the whole layer in window. To do this, you do Control 0 in window, Command 0 in Mac, and that will resize it automatically to make it fit in window. Just a quick shortcut. All right. Of course, you can go to View, and you can choose it from there in fit screen or fit window. But that was a shortcut that I just show you. Control 0 for window, Command 0 for Mac. All right. Make sure my select tool is selected, and I'm gonna again hold the shift key so I can constrain the move, and I simply gonna drag my photo or my layer down, and I let go with the mouse, and I let go with my shift. Okay. Now I want to mirror my mirrored image, and to do this, again, we did this before, so it should be easy by now. We do Edit, Transform, we're going to do Layer, Edit, Transform, and we're going to flip vertical. I'm sorry if my accent is even here, but we're basically going to flip the picture to look like a mirror. We already have an image that's kind of have an artistic looks to it, and really does not look like the original image. I mean, it's just mirroring the same image in different ways. All right, let's do something. We can stop in there, or we can save this as actually a piece of art by itself, or we can continue. I'm continuing in this time, and what I want to do is I want to merge all this layer in a new layer, but in the opposite of what I did earlier. Earlier, I merged them all or flattened the image to be just one image. This time, I want to create a new layer from the merged layer. And to do this, you're going to hit Alt key in Window, Option key in Mac, and you're going to go to Layer, and you're going to do Merge Visible. So you can see that Photoshop have merged both layers for me, put them in a new layer, and they automatically rename it for me Layer 1. All right, so what do we do in here? Let's go ahead, and I think I want to rotate this layer 90-degree clockwise. So I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to do Transform, and I'm going to rotate it 90-degree clockwise. Okay, so this is what I want, but I want to get access of the or trim the picture to where I rotated. To do this, again, I'm gonna hit the Control key in Windows, Command key in Mac, and you're gonna left click in the thumbnail representation. And you know that you have the selection that you want by looking at those marching ants. And at this point, you wanna go to Image and you crop it. And voila. You can save this picture and you can consider it another piece of art that you arrive to. Now, we're going to work with blending mode to see how we can modify this picture and make it look like you're looking through kaleidoscope. All right. To do this, we're going to work with the layer panel, and the layer panel is right here. And Photoshop has 27 layer panel. As you cycle through them, you can see the immediate change to the photo that does. Let me take a minute in here to explain the layer panel a little bit. Actually, Adobe Photoshop did, Adobe did really great job in actually putting this layer panel. They divide it for us. So the first two, normal and dissolve, are the default. Now, the next panel, which you can see there is panel in here, there is separation. The next panel, it deals with darken modes, and there is 5 different darken modes. The next panel to that, it deals with lighten mode, and again we have 5 different type of lighten mode. Then the next panel to that, it deals with contrast mode, and there is 7 of them. And as you cycle through them, you can look at the image and how it changes. It's almost like different image. And after that, again, the next panel, it called comparative mode. That's at least what I call it. And it constitutes of 4 different modes. And the last but not least panel, it called the composite mode. And it's basically the hue, saturation, and luminous. And that's what is this effect in here. So you can see in here that you can do it in all kind of things and affect the picture in a way that's different. You know, I'm kind of like, for this particular thing, soft light looks really good. So I'm going to select soft light for that. Okay, now again, we created another piece of art that we can use by itself, or we can continue. So how about if we continue and we rotate a panel a little bit? I want to merge all these layers to a new layer. And to do this again, I'm going to go to Alt key in Windows, Option key in Mac, and I'm going to go to Layer, and I'm going to do Merge Visible. And you can see Photoshop merged it to me all the layers, and have created a new layer for me, and it called it Layer 2. All right, what we can do is Layer 2. Let's go to Edit, Transform again. This time we're going to rotate, but what I want to do is I want to rotate with an angle. So I do not want to just rotate it, flip it right and left, or 90 degree, or whatever the case is. Well, to do this, I would do rotate, and then I go near to my angle and say, well, how many angle, what angle do you want it? I want it for a 45-degree angle. That's what I think that the picture will look good for me. Hit enter a couple of times, and you can see I have what I want. All right, Control D to just take the selection away. Now I have this in here. Again, it's different looks, and I can leave it as is. Or let's go back again to the blending panel and see what we can do with it. Now here is a shortcut for blending. So far I've been clicking in the arrow key and cycling through the blending modes. Well, you can also, instead of doing this, whether it's in Windows or Mac, you can hold the Shift key and you can hit the plus sign or the minus sign to cycle through the different blend mode to find out something that's interest to you. And I kind of really like this in here, which is looks like darker color, but let's just go through them, make sure that this is what we want. And you know what, I think that darken or dark color I like. I'm just keep it a dark color. So at this point I created yet another piece of artwork out of the same photograph. At this point I can quit and I'm done. Okay, but since also this is just a layer and the layer is just another layer, another photo, I can do in it and affect it with anything I want. All right, so I can go back to layer one by clicking on layer one, and I can change my blend mode to just see what other effect I can get. You know, here you go. I'm going to change that to maybe light dodge. Okay, so I can go back again to layer 2. I can change that to something else if I want to. So I can do again shift plus, shift minus, and see if I can get some. You know, I really like this overlay panel, but it's not, well, hard light. Here is an interesting one, indifference. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this and say, okay, this is great. But again, since this is layers, I can do anything in the photograph, just like what you do in normal photo. So if I want to turn it to, if I want to convert it to black and white, I click black and white, and here it is in black and white. Now, I can use all this color to affect the contrast and the hardness and the looks of different line in there. So if I control the red, even though that it's a black and white photo, all the color is still preserved in there. As you see, as I move the slider, it's changing what it looks like. Go to my yellows, look at this, and as I'm doing this, I'm actually creating something new in here. You know, go to my greens or my cayenne, and I think this is maybe something that's an interest, for example. All right. That's not what I wanted, but you can do this. I'm gonna hit in here Command Z a couple of times to go back again to my layer panel. One other thing you can do, and somebody asked me, can you apply filter to it? Absolutely, you can apply filter for it. I mean, all what you have to do in here is go to filter and apply filter to it. Let's go to stylize in here. Here is an interesting filter, the extrude filter. An extrude filter, I'm just gonna do the whatever default it is, but really you can do all kinds of things. You can do it blocks or pyramids. It's just, let's do pyramids, see what it looks like. I'm gonna say okay, and look at this. It is just created something totally different out of that image. If I go in here and let's make it a little bit bigger so you can see what it looks like. So here is what that looks like. Well, can I apply filter over the filter? Absolutely. Let's go to another filter and let's go to stylize. This time let's do an oil paint to make it like somebody actually painted this. And when it comes in, it asks me what do I want to do with it. I can change all this parameter. I just gonna accept the default. And now it looks like an oil paint that by painted has nothing to do with your original photograph. I'm gonna do the Command 0 in here so I can see the whole photo. So if this is what we have from, if I turn everything down off, oops, sorry. Turn this on only. This is what you are end up with. You end up, if you just look at layer 2 to see what kind of modification that this has been doing to it, and all you have to do is just click into the eye to see activate something or the other. And at this point, that's really all what I have. If you have any question, again, my name is Raouf Bishay. My email is raouf.bishay@gmail.com, and you can find it in Bloomington Photograph website. Go enjoy and create some fun art. Thank you so much.